Hello everyone, my name is Munish. You are watching CRIMETAK. I welcome all of you in CRIMETAK family. I hope everyone is doing well and fine. Today I am at Singhu border. I was covering the farmers' agitation, the demand of farmers to repeal all three laws from the government, whereas the Prime Minister has assured that these laws are in favor of the farmers. So this is a life of journalist. I am still at the Singhu border since morning, and we cover all sorts of happenings which takes place around the entire country. But today I am going to talk about a very sensitive matter, a crime which affects every family. It has been very disturbing for me in last few days, the number of cases which the premium investigative agency of the country, the Central Bureau of Investigation, unearthed in recent times. It is regarding the child sex abuse. It is very disturbing to talk about it, but this is also important because in our family, in families around us, we see lot of children. There have been repeated incidents where the minors have been exploited. Sometimes in a school, sometimes by our neighbor, sometimes even by our relatives. But now there is a systematic scam, systematic crime which is being run against the children, and children are being victim of sexual abuse. Now I'll give you 3-4 recent examples, and why I'm telling you this, because we need to be extra careful when it comes to security of our children, because remember, the wound of any children doesn't recover, it doesn't heal till the time they die. So they carry all along their life. So it is our prime responsibility as a human being to protect our children, to protect children surrounding us. In the recent example I will tell you, the CBI recently arrested a person who is a resident of Srinagar, Niyaz Ahmed Mir. Now this 35-year-old resident of Srinagar was married to a woman from Washington. Her name is Tamara Stanley. Now what CBI found during the investigation is that this man was running a proper racket of child sex abuse. First, the children were being sexually abused, they were sexually exploited, and then their videos were being uploaded on dark web. And this man, Niyaz Ahmed Mir, was earning money through sexual exploitation of children. It's a very heinous crime. Now how this entire operation was being run? So what he did, Niyaz Ahmed Mir, first of all he went to US few years back, and then he met this woman Tamara Stanley. They befriended, and then he proposed this idea that how they can earn money, the hunger for money. So they decided to set up some sort of, you can say, an arrangement in which from Srinagar he will be uploading videos on dark web, and Tamara Stanley's responsibility was to sexually abuse those children in US and then send the videos to Ahmed Mir, who will be uploading on dark web just to get some money. So what CBI claims that during their investigation, and why they initiated investigation, because initially there was complaint from the US authorities that there are some dark web, there are some websites where they can see videos of US citizen, minor citizen who are being sexually exploited. So when the CBI got this information, then a team was set up. After primary investigation, they got to know about this man, the resident of Srinagar, and they started their own investigation. So after a proper round of questioning, after he was arrested, CBI got to know that Tamara Stanley was in arrangement with the US children in master-slave arrangement. This master-slave arrangement is, in layman language, I can say that master was Tamara Stanley and the children were slaves. They were forced basically to get exploited, sexually exploited, and then their videos were being recorded, and then they were being sent to Ahmed Mir. So in Washington, Tamara Stanley was based in Washington. So she was recording the video, and why she was recording the video? Because she had set up an arrangement for children in neighboring areas who can come there for some, for some function, for some programs where children can be educated. That was her theme. But when children were coming, then initially, because they were not having a proper set of mind that what exactly they are going through, they were undressed, then they were forced to do something unnatural in nature, and then their videos were recorded. When some of the children objected to this, their videos were sent to their parents, and when some objected, then they were forced to do it because they were threatened. If they will not do it, then their videos will be sent to their parents. So under threat, they did whatever Tamara Stanley was saying. Tamara Stanley is now an absconding accused in the case. She is in US, so there is a proper channel. It's a very long process where the person will be extradited to India, but as she is a US citizen, it is going to be a very difficult job. But CBI finally arrested Niyaz Ahmed Mir and stopped this racket, shut down this entire web racket of Niyaz Ahmed Mir. But this is a very latest example. How this is operating, how these men are involved, these people are involved in this case. There is another example. There was a government employee who was working with the government department of Uttar Pradesh, and that person, who was into late 50s, that person had set up a channel where what he was doing, that he was targeting the neighboring children. The place where he was staying in Chitrakoot of Uttar Pradesh, there were children in neighboring areas. So he used to lure them with chocolate and saying that, come, I'll play with you, because he was an old man, like an uncle. He was like a father figure to the children. But what he was doing, that he was calling them to his residence. He was forcing the children to do some unnatural things. He was sexually abusing those children, and then he was recording those videos. And those videos he was selling in international market. It was a very big racket, not only in Chitrakoot but also in Banda and adjoining districts of Uttar Pradesh. So even that racket was busted by the Central Bureau of Investigation. I'll give you another example that how big it is. It seems very small that only few children are involved, but remember, it is not only few children. It is happening in countries. There is one case where not only the people of India but also countries like Russia, countries like Netherlands, even people from their countries are involved. They are sexually exploiting those minors, those children, and they are the prime target. Their videos are being recorded and then it is being uploaded on dark web, and after uploading the dark web, there are some sick-minded people, I'll say sick-minded people, who watch those videos and generate money for them. It is paid. They pay to watch those videos, and that is how these sick-minded people get money. Now, why I am telling you this story? The reason behind I am telling this story is because we need to be extra careful when it comes to the safety and security of our children. We need to be open to them. At the age of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, the children are so vulnerable that even something is happening to them under embarrassment, under shyness, they won't even come and tell their parents. They won't even come and tell their immediate parents, their family members. And that is what is the most disturbing part. So you need to be very friendly with your children. They should tell you what exactly has happened. There have been many cases which I have covered where the relatives have made those children victim of sexual abuse. There are 8-year, 9-year, 10-year-old girls who have been sexually raped. They have been sexually exploited by their own relatives. There was one case in Mumbai which I personally covered, when there was one 5-year-old boy was going to school every day in a very high profile big international school in Juhu of Mumbai. that boy was sexually exploited by the driver of that particular school. When he was dropping that children to his residence, then he was sexually exploiting. And after he complained that he is feeling pain in his private area, then he was subjected to doctor's examination, and that is when the doctor said that he is being sexually exploited. There's one case in Noida where a 6-7-year-old small school girl was being exploited by one of the employee of that particular big school. So the children are very vulnerable. We need to be extra careful, and we can do this only by being more friendly with our children. We should speak freely about what is happening around the areas. At the age when they are reaching 11, 12, 13, 14, we should start talking about what are the vulnerabilities. If they are behaving in any such manner where you think that something is not right with your children or someone's other children, you should try speaking to them. Maybe you will come across something where your children, the children around you, they are under some threat, and it is better before even they are sexually exploited, before they even get those injuries, lifelong injuries, to be stopped at a right time. So we need to be extra careful, and this is why I told you this story. This is very sensitive. I get emotional when I tell such stories, when I cover such stories, but I think it is my responsibility as a crime journalist to make you aware of such stories. Children are like God, and we need to protect them. So, at the end, once again, I'll say that please speak to children around you. Please monitor their activities, and also monitor the activities around which they are, living. I'm not saying not to trust your relatives, your neighbors, but yes, there is something which we need to do to be extra careful. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you will implement this in life. If you have any recommendation for me, you want me to tell any crime story, you want to ask me anything, then you can certainly comment in the comment section box, and I'll be happy to share those my experience, and whatever your questions are, I will try to satisfy with my answers. Thank you very much for watching this.